first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Jihin Radzuan. Sorry, do I have to say my age? No, right?
No, right. I can always cut it.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jihin Radzuan. I'm from Johor Bahru. Currently, I'm training in Ultimate MMA Academy, and I'm a half part-time vet nurse.
Oh, you're a part-time vet nurse?
Yeah, it's just walking distance from here.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are things that these are things we don't know about you.
Kepo already.
It's okay. You can come and join.
Okay.
Part-time vet nurse and part-time fighter.
Yeah.
Do you teach them?
Normally I will teach for beginners like kids, and then with the women's.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into a little bit about your history. As how did you find fighting?
So actually, it's quite common. Like because when I was 15 by that time, I watched Korean TV show. I think there's one Korean TV show. It's called Roommates, meaning it's like celebrities and then chef, actors, actress, and then there's one of them is actually fighter. I think it's she trained in Evolve now, Song Kayon. So that was my first time. Like I know there's martial arts, but I don't know there's MMA. So I'm like, oh, this. I found it like very interesting. So I just search, like nearby my house, and then this gym keep pop up. Then after 1 month of observation, and then I told my sister, can you like pay the gym gym fees for the 1 month or 2, or like just to support me. And then she said okay. So that's how it started.
Okay. And then you just trained from there. How long it took you to train until you started to fight?
So actually it took me 3 months only.
What?
Yeah, 3 months only. And then I just because like after 3 months of training, and then like my teammates, they were talking about, oh, there's one Muay Thai fight in somewhere around Johor Bahru lah. And then I told him, oh, can I join? Something like that. Can I join? And then he told me to ask coach first. And I said, oh, must ask. Like I cannot just like register myself. Cannot, because we are under one gym, right? So I told my coach that I wanted to try, and then he said okay, but then you have to know lah. Not every time you win.
Coach will be Coach Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin lah. Not every time you win, so you have to try first. You scared or not, something like that, like common question. So I said okay lah, yeah, I try. And then at the on the day of the fight, actually I was winning for the first round, and then I gassed out myself and I gave up. And then after that, like coach told me that some people after their first loss, and then they might like give up. They don't want to train, and then they don't want to go fight, compete. They scared lah. They're scared. But then like for me, right, I feel like I want to go try more and more and more and more. So that's how it started.
Now, when after you had that one fight, at what point did you figure out like, I want to turn professional and make this my life?
So actually at first I didn't even think about taking martial art, like become a fighter, become an athlete. I never think of that. Like I just do for fun, because I was still in school, like even tomorrow is my trial for SPM, right? I still fighting on the night before. Yeah. And then like for me, I think after I graduated from high school, only then Melvin told me, Coach Melvin told me that, oh, you want to compete or not? That time was Mima.
Yeah.
Actually, I was underage when Mima time. Yeah, I curi masuk. So yeah, so after I graduated, so after high school only, then we just like, Coach Melvin told me that, oh, you interested to join MMA or not? Like just to try lah. Like if you do it for a long time, and then maybe you have a bright future in martial arts. So I said okay. So until here lah.
And that's when, after you won Mima, and then straight away.
So actually after won Mima, right, it's
you
kind
went for one
of.
season of Mima, did you?
No, it's only season 4.
Yeah, just the one season.
Yeah, just one season. I think season 4 is the only season that they started to do women division. Yeah, so that's how it started. Then I actually it's season 3. Season 3 when Joanna Yap won the belt, and then I defend. She way God. And then the year after only, then I took the belt from her. So after that, actually, we were planning to stay in amateur. I mean, like, just to get more experience and everything. But then my opponent kept pulling out. So like basically, I have no opponent. We drove 4 hours to KL like just for nothing. Like they didn't tell us that I have no opponent. When we got there, only then say, oh, my opponent pulled out. So actually, it's happened to me like quite few times. I think more than 5 times. So just
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
That tends to happen to a lot of amateur fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, because
even Ijam had to like turn into pro.
Yes.
To get fights.
So that's how like Marvin told me that to F it, and then we just go to pro. So I got my first debut for pro MMA in Ultimate Beatdown, and then I got a contract with one.
Do you mind if you tell me a little bit of your experience in IMAF?
IMAF?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have a short experience, and you out of a lot before Colin, you were the highest that ever reached in IMAF.
Actually, when I joined IMAF, they just started it. And then it was quite fun, like I think that was my first experience fighting foreigner. So, like before the fight, like a lot of people told Melvin that, oh, you have to watch out with this girl. She is like pound and pound, the greatest in amateur, like I think flyweight, if not mistaken. And then like she's very tough, and then she KO people, blah 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 blah. But then how to say, it's actually a bit tough for me because it was Ramadan. Yeah, and then I lighter than her, then she had to cut weight. So like she's heavy, but then I managed to finish with her like 3 rounds, and then our point is like 1 point less only. That was because she took me down. Then maybe if I tak kena take down, then maybe I got like split decision win or anything. But then it was a very great experience. Like actually, when I went to Singapore, Melvin wasn't with me. He got work to do. So like it was my first experience without him cornering me. So actually, like every fight that he will be there to corner me. So I get used to it. So when he wasn't there, then I felt like a bit, like, how to say?
There's no
I cannot hear his voice, it's a bit weird for me. So but then I managed it to,
I understand that. Most fighters, they have a recognized voice.
Yeah.
You only hear that one voice and then you respond.
Yeah.
Okay, then now that you've turned pro, pretty much you are pretty much one of the icon for Malaysian MMA. Does any of this like put pressure onto you? Like you seem very chill.
Actually, like because I think like this one is my own opinion. Like I am half, like I'm still working as a vet nurse. I'm still doing this. Like I kind of like adapting to this both situation. Like if I'm working, I'm just like normal, normal girl. Like nobody going to recognize me with the glasses. So like if I go to some event that might know me, so I will like not to say like very, like everybody going to know me lah. But then I just like chill out. Like people like greet me, and then I just like say hi, and then like this. And then like for me, I think okay lah, because I could say that I am the active pro MMA fighter for female.
In MMA?
Yeah, in MMA.
General,
pro,
in
yes.
Malaysia,
Yes.
You are the most active fighter other than Agilan.
Yes. I mean like for female only.
Yeah, but in terms of in MMA as well, 2 of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what was this? I get into, because there's a lot of pressure, right? Does it like play a part of you every time you enter the cage?
So actually it depends. Like, how to say, like sometimes, of course, sometimes you did good, sometimes you did not so good, but then it's a part of the game. Like the pressure, of course, is always there because like you are fighting. Like for me, most of my fights is I fight in front of Malaysians, so it's a bit fragile for me because like people rooting for me, like people, how to say, people expecting me to win the fight. So when you win, then people's going to like shouting for you, and then like if you lose, sometimes they, when you lose, there's something that you have to, get used to it. Like people going to like condemn you, and then like some supporter, then suddenly like when you lose, and then they change to like not to say haters, but then they say like, oh, padan muka, something like that. So I have to adapt with that. But then like most of the, the big role in my career, like the pressure is more on my gym mates and my family.
I understand that. Do you prefer to fight in Malaysia or do you prefer to fight overseas?
This is actually I don't mind to fight both, but then I think I prefer to fight in Malaysia. But then people might say that I'm biased, like I don't want to fight in front of Malaysians only. But then like the feeling is actually different, like when I fought last year in Bangkok, is actually a bit it's kind of new experience for me after IMAF, because like when you walk down, right, there's like not many people shouting for you, like you feel like a bit weird. Yeah, but then I just don't mind it, ignore it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, from the amateur side to your pro side, what was the biggest difference? What was the biggest feel of difference? Yeah.
So I think I could say it's crowd. Like in amateur, like.
How does that like? Does it drive you?
What do you mean, like?
How does it affect you emotionally?
So actually, I could say that it's the same. Like for amateur, you are doing it for experience. You like when I was still in amateur, I don't mind to fight people heavier than me, taller than me. I just fight in weight category. If I got opponent, then I just fight. So like for pro fights, it's more like you have to see the deal. Is it good for you or is it not good for you? So it's more about the business, like you have to know, like pro, you doing this for like, this is short career. You're not going to do it until you old. So I have to be careful with like me and Melvin, like my coach. Like we are seeing who we are fighting. We have to see whether
it's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you or not.
Fair enough. Okay. I have a few questions here from some of your fans.
I got fans.
Yeah.
Keep us.
You got plenty of fans.
Keep us.
Hold on, I have a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
Right. A lot of question about fighting is about the diet. Do you have a strict diet, and how can you advise another fan to lose weight?
Oh, so like for me myself, right, during like off season, I just eat what I want. Not really eat what I want, like like if I want to eat this, then I eat this, but then my weight is not going exceed certain kg. So like for during the fight camp, I will be on the strict diet, like no carbs, not much carbs, and then no sugar. But then like sometimes you are craving, and then you have to eat some sugar to like make yourself happy a bit. So like normally, right, after I finish my fight camp and then I finish weighing and everything, and then I always told my coach that I'm going to eat clean. And then my coach always say, see first lah. Then every time it's like that. So like for beginners, right, like for me, myself, what I advise for beginners, because they are not get used to diet. They're not used to exercise. So for me, I would tell them to eat whatever you want, but then you cut the portion until you get used to the portion, and then only then you eat clean.
The next one is more related to your fight name, Shadowcat. How do you come up with Shadowcat?
Yeah, so Shadow cat. I think I got it when I was still in Mima. So like I mentioned to you just now, Teddy, he was here since he little baby, you know. And then one day, we were preparing for the fight camp for Mima lah, for the final Mima. So I was wearing all black, and then I was holding him, and then I was complaining about something, I think. And then suddenly Melvin told me like, I know what to call you, Shadow Cat, something like that. And then at first I of course I said no, I don't want to be a cat, something like that. You know, like ignore it like, I thought it's going to like last for short period only. So but then everywhere that I go, yeah, he will tell people that I'm Shadow Cat, Shadow Cat, Shadow Cat. Even though like people don't know I'm Jihin, then they will call me Cat Kitty, Shadow Cat, and then that's how it is, you know, stick to me.
Okay, that's a very juicy story. Next question by your fan would be, in training, what is your most hated exercise?
A lot of things I hate actually. Like, you know, like for the exercise, like what I hate the most is running, skipping, and then sometimes I don't like to do striking. Sometimes I don't like to do grappling, but then, you know, like you know, it doesn't matter whether I like it or not. I have to do it. Yeah, I must do it.
Okay. The next one is, if you could eat one thing every day, what would it be?
Oh, this one. I would say anything with chocolate or peanut butter combined, and green tea and red bean combined. These two both. Like if you say dessert lah, but then if like, you know, like more like a meal, I would say I would stick Korean food.
Okay. Alright, last one for your fan. Alright, what do you do when you feel sad?
What do I do when I feel sad? So basically, like, I'm a very sensitive type of person. So like normally if at home I will like, you know, playing with my cats. Just nothing much like I do. Like normally I just like duduk diam and then just like, you know, how to say, like one whole day I will feel sad, and then like even though like people talk to me and then I will be mad, something like that. But then it's only lasts for one day, you know. I just ignore it, you know, like just forget it. The sadness, like you know, like my close friend told me that you have to cherish the moment. You cannot be sad all the time. So that's how I just like suck it in and then just face the world.
Okay. Alright, those are the few questions. There's a bit more here, but I think a lot of them pretty much answered it during the interview. I'm just gonna restart this.
Look at you. Look at camera.
Up to you.
Okay.
I'm okay with anything.
Okay.
Right. I want to speak a little bit more about your future now.
Okay.
Future. How old are you again?
22 this year. Yeah.
To this year.
Yeah, this year September going to be 22.
3 years younger than me.
Oh, you. Oh, 26 like you. 25. Sorry. You 95.
Yeah. About your future, seemingly that you're still very early in your 20s, you know. Your immediate goal. Okay, what's your immediate goal right now as a fighter lah?
So actually I don't, you know, like in my MMA career, I don't think much of the goal. Like for now, of course, if you ask me, of course, in one I have to take the belt first. So after that, maybe like I could say that I follow the flow, you know. Like I don't really, how to say, like of course you want to be success in your life. So like for me, my own opinion, right? If you how to say, if you set one goal and then you cannot achieve it and then you feel sad. So like for me, like I have something that I wanted to achieve. I just go with the flow. That I don't have plan for that.
So you don't really set too much of expectations.
Yeah.
That way you like can,
Yes.
It's a good meditation for your head. I'm serious. It's very good. But that's the immediate plan. Immediate plan is obviously going for the belt. What's that long-term plan for your life?
For my life. So of course, like some of the fighters, right, after they retire and then they're just like gone, like there's no news for them, and then nobody going to like focus on them, like totally gone. So like for me, I think like if I'm not fighting anymore, like I still want people to know me that, oh, I know her. Last time she fight this and she fight that. Or now she's very successful woman and everything. So like if you see from my my job, I think I would say like I wanted to open like a shelter for cats, like go here, go there, and then do charity for the cats and everything, animals. Yeah. Okay. If I have time for that. For now, I just like pack.
Now it's just mainly just the fights.
Yeah.
That's very like contrasting personalities about you. It's fantastic to see that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, but then like of course like not every day is a good day, so like you have to adapt with that.
Anything you want to say, or like let's be honest, the MMA scene in Malaysia is plummeting.
Yeah.
But there are a number of gyms out there and there are a number of fighters.
Yeah.
Can you give them a reason to continue, or at least to try and pursue?
You mean individually or like
individually and individually for people. There's a lot of fighters out there, but there's hardly any fights.
Okay, so one thing that we lack of is event. Like if you see like in KL, mostly in whole Malaysia, they focusing in Muay Thai. And then there's a lot of MMA gym, so they don't have like last time we have Mima, now we don't more already. So like we have Ultimate Beatdown, but then they say like it's too far to travel and everything. They want to fight. They say they train this, or I train ever hard every day, and then I want to like be top of the top, blah blah blah. But then they don't want. They don't put that effort to really go for it. So like for me, personally I say like we lack of amateur fight. And then people also like quite choosy to choose, like if let's say they have MMA fight, they choosy, they see, oh, this opponent got 5-0, this opponent got more fight than him, oh, I'm an amateur, I don't want to fight somebody with a record. Because like for me, just go for it lah, because it's amateur what. You just fight for experience. Then if you don't have like, if you don't want to fight amateur, then you want to jump to pro, and then it's not going to work. Like for me, people like if they really want to go for this career, right, they really have to Pumpkin. Okay. Jawab lagi.
Yeah.
So if they really want to like go for a fight, right, they have to put effort. Like for now, they in Malaysia, I would say that the paling active and the longest event in Malaysia is Ultimate Beatdown.
Oh yeah, it's been years.
Yeah,
10 years?
More than 10 years, right? Oi, UB, 10 years ah? 10 years. So like they have to put effort. Like one thing, we see foreigner, they can live as full-time fighters, they can like just train every day, they still can afford it. Like in Malaysia, I don't think that we can survive as a full-time fighters. Really cannot.
The only golden ticket is to be in one championship.
Yes, like you have to have like one promotion that they're willing to pay a big amount of money.
Yeah.
So like for me, like if you don't want to go for a full-time job, why don't you just do part-time, like just for savings, like you have to find something that if you cannot survive in MMA scene, and then you have something to do.
Okay, that's fine. Right. I think that's about it. Do you have any last words?
Last word? Like what?
Last words. Anything you want to say?
I don't have much things to say. I think so this one is, I think, most common problems that happen in MMA fighters. I don't think it's only in MMA fighters and so on. It's like all these martial arts, martial artists that going to compete, like winning or losing is part of the games, like sometimes people like going to laugh at you because you are lose and everything, and then people like going to support you and give the all the sweet words to you if you win. So I think, right, I don't think that you have to be like that. Like, of course we know that there's keyboard warrior. You have to be little bit nicer. You don't have to be so nice, but then you have to be a little bit nicer. You have to go into the ring or into the cage to feel, the feeling. Of course, we fighter, we don't want to lose. But then there's only two people is fighting, are fighting in the ring or cage. So either one of us have to lose or to win. So we don't have that, we don't have that rules that to be, what's that, fair?
Yeah.
What's that we call that one? Win, lose, and then fair, right?
Draw.
Thank you. Draw, yeah. And then actually, like when I lose, right, my closest friend, not really close, like the relative and everything, right, my sister, and then they told me like, if I fight inside, I think I'm going to win. Like, I can survive with that. And then I brought them here to the gym. Just 3 or 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I think. 2 minutes of holding pad works. And then she told me that, wow, how can you survive 5 minutes in ring? See? You don't even feel that feeling. So you you have just to understand our hard work, like, of course I go into the to the ring not to lose, right? So just to be a little nicer.
Alright. I think that should be enough. Well, thank you very much, Jihin.
Okay.